What's going on, everyone? Philly Insider Podcast here.
Woo!
We've got Fan Friday. We're doing live call-ins. And, thank you guys who are going to be here, who are already here. We appreciate y'all. We're just going to be kicking it for like the first 5 minutes here or so as you guys trickle in. So make sure you guys share this. Tell everyone else you know who's a Philly fan who might want to come in here and talk Philly sports. We're getting it started. So first off, Sanjay, Nate, how you guys doing today? How you feeling?
Dude, you digresses, dude. I'm feeling okay. You know, it's cold out here. The snowstorm be moving.
Nate really just pulled an Ian quote.
Hey, man. The quotes are real. The Ian quotes are real. Ian might not be here, but he's here in spirit. And, dude, it's cold out here, man. I don't know how it's like in Illinois, but, like, we got the snowstorms moving through. Roads be slippery. But we're just chilling here in the nice, warm kitchen/living room and talking some sports, man.
I don't want to hear the cold and snow from the East Coast guys, man.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. It's freezing out here in Arizona. I am shivering. I'm wearing shorts right now. I'm doing good.
Hey.
Nervous about the weekends. Excited to talk sports, get my mind off the Bengals because I've just been so many people. There was actually a presidential campaign for our president for GCU, like a student run. And the guy who was like advertising for one guy goes, "Hey, go Bengals, who day?" And I said, if you're supporting roots to the Bengals, I'll vote for him. And then he came up to me and he said, "Let's go Bengals." And I said, "You got my vote."
He does his research. He does his research.
I do my yeah. I know Bengals fans. They're good. They're good for it. And Eagles. I mean Philly fans. As you can see, I'm the number one Philly fan here. Sorry everybody else in the chat.
All right. Well, guys, we got some interesting stuff to talk about today. So, for one, the Eagles were rumored to DJ Chark. That sounds like they're going to pursue him. Make sure you guys go check out the video that we put out on him earlier today. Also, Brian Dable has just been hired as the New York Giants' new head coach. That's something we're going to have to talk about. Flyers still suck. Nothing to talk about there. Phillies are still in lockout. Nothing to talk about there.
I've heard they're setting records, though, for their loss record. Literally in my bio class the other day at Drexel, they were just like, our professor interrupted class. He was like, "Guys, I'm sorry. Like, I don't normally do this, but I have to stop and just lament for a second," and proceeds to go on a 10-minute rant about the Flyers. Now they're making historical levels.
This is the first time they've had 2 10-game losing streaks before they even played 40 games. So that should give you an idea of where the Flyers are at. There's 82 games in a season, so they're not even at the halfway point. But Troy, we appreciate the Daily Furcon comment. I really think
Troy, it's all right. That's right. I know you're there. I see you. I know where you stand on the Furcon. I know.
But everyone, we're about to drop the link in the chat for y'all to call in. So rules for call-in. Again, link's going to be in the chat, so click on the link. Make sure your camera is off. We do want to make sure cameras are off so we don't run into any problems with scammers or anything like that. So cameras got to be off. And also drop us a Go Birds in the private chat when you get here. So with that said, I'm going to – and also one last thing. We're only going to have you guys on for 3 to 5 minutes. So it's going to be kind of a strict 3 to 5. I'm sorry. We can only have so many people here. But, we do got other callers to get here. So
yeah, we really do want to. Last time we had that issue where we just couldn't. There were a lot of people left in the waiting room at the end of it. So we're really trying to move things along this time, make sure everybody gets their shot. So before you come on, make sure you know what you want to say. If you got questions for us, ask them then. And we're here to listen to you guys, Come through.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just have
to call out one thing. John, I love that pun. That's great. I just want to say I appreciate that comment. It's very funny.
Sanjay, is Nate's mic a little fuzzy on yours, or
it probably is
a little bit fuzzy. I think it's when he gets real close to it.
Okay,
I gotta change some settings.
You guys are both fuzzy for me right now, so hold on.
Well, you know what, Hunter? You're fuzzy for me.
Yeah, no, I'm good now. You good?
Oh wait, yeah, I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hear anything to begin with, except on Hunter's side. So sure. I think we just should all blame Hunter for our problems. I mean, I love Hunter. He's my favorite.
All right.
You doing better?
So, yeah, I think it's good now. So I'm going to drop the call-in link, guys, with the directions. Camera off again. Camera off and send us a Go Bird. I see someone send something in the private message. It must have been Nate saying Go Birds. Send camera off and send us a Go Birds.
Definitely
private message. All right. We're just about ready. And in the chat. So we'll see if anyone else drops in here. Checking the private chat.
Wow, they copy and paste.
Yes,
that
you are,
really
Nate.
fast.
You are, Nate. Yes, Nate. But yeah, we'll see if we get any callers in here. Drop in, share it with anyone you guys know who might want to call in, and yeah, we'll go from there. So yeah, awesome. I mean, I guess while we're waiting for people, like, what do you guys think of the? We'll talk more about this, but the Dable hire,
dude.
Wow.
Nate, you go first on this because I feel like I'm just gonna repeat a lot of what a lot of Birds fans are saying right now. I was like outside looking in. Obviously, your head might not have been too into it. You know, you obviously got to worry about your Bengals AFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you got to see a lot of work of Dable in the AFC. So, what do you think of him now that he's over here with New York?
Not good news. Gonna be honest. For Eagles fans, at least, he's a solid offensive coordinator. He came on, I believe, the same time Josh Allen did, and Josh Allen credits a lot of his success and development to Brian. He has done a phenomenal job with this offense. One thing, though, that is going to be interesting is he really doesn't like using the run too much. He's not a big run guy. He's not a first down run guy. He's not even a third down, drop back guy. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts that to the Giants and Daniel Jones. I mean, they're both big QBs. Some would argue that Josh Allen is a little bit better than Daniel Jones. Some would argue that to Giants fans, but it'll be interesting to see what he does. I am still very worried about the Giants defense. I don't know if they have a defensive coordinator yet, or if they have signed one. I don't know, but their defense is still going to suck, even with Dable, I believe, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure he'll bring some keys to the table, but their offense will definitely improve. Warranted Daniel Jones can actually play, so we'll see what happens.
Nate, I gotta say, I mean, you kind of burned me with that scalding hot take you had of Josh Allen being better than Daniel Jones. I had to go get the burn cream, man. Like, that was too hot of a take.
We do have our first caller here in the background. Philly Sports Podcast. Thank you for joining.
What's
How you
good,
doing, man? And what do you want to talk about?
I'm good. Just sorry, I just got off of work, so I don't mind. So far, I mean, right now, I had this interesting take because I dropped the video yesterday about Nakobe Dean being the perfect linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I kind of mentioned too, like, the physicality he brings. It's like we haven't seen that since Jeremiah Trotter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're talking about Nakobe Dean, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. No, honestly, man. I mean, I think the first round is definitely going to be a place where obviously, like you said, we haven't addressed linebacker. Haven't had someone like Jeremiah Trotter in there for a little bit. Like, even I'd take Jordan Hicks, Michael Kendricks, Nigel Bradham level guys at this point, and those are pretty good.
Somebody who doesn't really have time to study the draft prospects right now, can we get a quick little breakdown on this guy? A little summary for someone like me.
Yeah, Philly Sports Podcast. Do you want to just give us a little information on him?
I mean, right now, from what I saw from a limited sample size, because I was looking at other prospects too. Like, what I said that he brings, like, that physicality, the strength that he has for a guy who's 6 feet, 225 pounds, and the fact that the speed that he has, it's like it's going to be hard to really defend Nakobe Dean. And I saw he's actually a good coverage linebacker too. Which, let's be real, we need some complementary piece to TJ Edwards. If they can do that, I think we have a good defensive scheme going between those two.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you look at Dean, like you said, he's got that sideline to sideline speed. He's very rangy, and honestly, I could see him playing any of the linebacker spots, and he fits the mold of the NFL linebacker you want in today's game. So, I mean, I think that'd be great. Or any other draft prospects or anything else on Dean you got for us, Philly Sports?
That's all I have for right now, but I'm going to watch more tape on him and kind of and then probably do a follow up. Yeah, so right now that's all I have right now because of the short sample size that I've taken away from that because I didn't really have time to really kind of go over it, but just had to get something out on the Kobe Dean. But
Where
it's
in the
just
draft
like
is this guy expected to go right now? Again, like not really like keeping up to this situation myself. Where is he supposed to go right now?
if we're lucky, if a lot of teams pass on Kobe Dean, I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped to the 15th spot. I would not be surprised. Because with the draft, because you don't know. Because like the first two, I know it's going to be Aiden Hutchinson or either Kayvon Thibodeau the first two picks. I'm calling that right now.
Right.
But everything, but everything else is probably going to be falling into place afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. And Philly Sports, before we let you go here, I just got to ask you, do you have any question for us as we let you go? And thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
Honestly, not really that much, but actually I do have one. I know this is Six related. Do you guys see say Dr. has been on the hot seat? That's my hypothetical question to you guys. Yes. Because I did drop a video about that. And question number two, would you rather see Dan Burke coach this team, coach the Sixers? Because I like what I saw.
Interesting. Well, we are going to talk about that as we let you go, Philly Sports. I want to say thank you so much for coming in and being our first caller tonight, man.
Yeah, no problem. For those who are not, of course, I have a Sixers writer coming on later tonight at 8:00. Austin Krell.
Yes.
So I'm going to have him on the channel as well.
Love it. Hey, best of luck with that, and thank you for hopping on again, man. We appreciate it. Everyone, check out his channel. All right,
dude. For the Doc hot seat thing,
bro.
That's a great question. We did actually, for those who don't know, me and Hunter did a video about like a week ago now, maybe a little bit more than that, discussing like Doc. And Nate, I don't think we had you on that, so you can give your take here as well for people who have already seen that video. But dude, Doc's got to turn things around a little bit. To me, it's not even that he is doing super bad, because mind you, choking aside, to me it's become more about what does he actually do well. Like more and more I find myself questioning, what does he actually do well? Because player relationships are cool, but you can get a coach to do that. That's not the most like distinct skill set of a coach. So like that's me anyway. I've been out on Doc now for like a month or two. I mean, Nate, what do you think, man? I mean, Hunter got to give his take. He's kind of in the same boat as me. Is just Doc's pretty much. He should be on the hot seat, honestly, with the talent he has. But what are you thinking, Nate?
Here's what I say. Doc is benefiting, much like a lot of people do, from a talented, stacked team that could probably win 40, 50 games uncoached. He really isn't contributing much to this Sixers roster, I'll be honest. Now, I don't know the behind the scenes, but when I see on the court, I don't see much. The timeouts we do are just to are just in the last couple minutes to save time or to come back from a win. He doesn't call any timeouts to actually change up plays. He runs the same dumb scheme every year or every game. And it's just Embiid and other players picking up his slack. I don't think he's on the hot seat because we're winning and we're not going to fire our coach when we're winning. If we get knocked out in the first round, I could see that, but he's benefiting from a decent team. He's not contributing anything, and I want him gone. I think we would benefit from Doc being relieved and Ben Simmons this offseason and come back with a new roster. Now, if that happens, expect the slow start to the season, but I think that would be better for our overall future of the next few seasons, because I frankly think Doc is about as spineless as a jellyfish. He just got no backbone. So, yeah, that's all I got to say.
Let me say something real quick too. Look, maybe the roster construction isn't the best, but Doc's also the one who puts 5 bench guys and 4 bench guys out there at the same time too. So I don't think the bench would be as glaring of a problem if he didn't do that. As far as Nate kind of answered the first question, you kind of answered the first question, Sanjay. We've done plenty of videos on Doc being on a hot seat. As far as the second question with Dan Burke, look, the guy coached 1 game, so I really can't say whether or not he's a legit candidate for the job, right? I hope he would be, and I think he definitely would get an interview. But, if Doc does go, I can't legitimately say he would be better than other options or what it would look like, because that's just kind of too far out. And again,
I want to hype him up for the meme, but like you said, it's just not quite realistic.
Yeah. Well, with that said, guys, I think it's time we bring in our next caller. Big play Slay, big supporter of the channel. He's been on like every call-in we've done. We've done very few call-ins, but big play Slay, how you doing, man? And what do you want to talk about tonight, man?
What up, fellas? How are y'all doing?
What's up?
Yeah, I guess Eagles. I mean, hey, our off season's here. That's something we got going on. And I heard you and Robert discussing about the draft. That's one thing I'm very interested in. What are we gonna do in the draft? Because right now, I mean, personally, these are one of those type of drafts. We don't know what we're really gonna do. We have too many glaring needs and holes on his team. I just don't know how he's gonna do. He could trade down. You have 3 first-round picks.
Sorry to cut you off, man, but let me ask you this. You said it yourself. We got a lot of holes here.
Yeah.
What are the top 3? We've asked multiple guys on this channel this. Now I want to hear your answer. What are the top 3 positions you're looking to fill in the draft? First 3 picks. We got 3 picks in the first round. What are the first 3 positions you go with that?
Yeah. For me, I'm looking at a linebacker. And I want Nakobe Dean for sure. Dude's a monster. And then the second pick, I would look at either defensive end. You could look at either Ajabo. I don't know if Ajabo is going to slip to 16, 17, so you have to look at him. And then with that last and final pick, you have to look in the secondary, either cornerback or safety. I think Daxton Hill is one of those players that can drop. So I would look at Sauce Gardner if he drops to 19. Booth, I don't think he's falling that far. And the last guy, Kyra Elam. That's it.
Hey, man, Sauce. I don't even watch Sauce in college like that, but I know Sauce. That's how big.
Yeah, that name, who wouldn't want that in Philadelphia? Just that name. There's a lot of cool names this year in the draft. There's a lot.
Yeah.
For sure, dude. And I mean, you were talking about the offseason. Another topic which Hunter talked about, he did a video, put that out earlier today. DJ Chark, man, what's the feeling? What are you thinking about him?
Ooh, yeah, I saw that. I seen a glimpse of that video earlier today. I tried to watch it. I didn't have enough time, but once I got home, I seen it and stuff. I like it. Personally, I would like to have a little bit of a better receiver. I mean, I think Devontae Smith is a really good player. I just feel like we need another player that I wouldn't say is better than him, because I think Devontae, can get up to a ceiling of some of the best receivers in the league. I just want a guy that can be like a Chase type of player where when they get the ball, they're doing something with that ball. And that's going to excite Nate over there. I'm just saying. But, yeah, something like that. But, I mean, DJ Chark, he's not really that much of a bad player. I think he would fit well in this offense. I think Nick Sirianni would love a guy like that because he can open up more for the offense, especially in the running game.
DJ Chark is kind of what we hoped, I guess, Rager would be in that aspect. I think that'd be kind of a semi-fairish comparison when you talk about
a lot more
I agree.
Yes, obviously. But
100.
Slade, I mean, we talked to you about. I'm curious, for basketball, who do you follow? You follow Sixers basketball or no?
No, I'm a Lakers fan.
Lakers fan.
I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about yesterday.
You want to talk about right now?
I don't want to talk about that. That's yeah.
Okay. We'll take it easy on you with this one.
LeBron wasn't playing, bro. I have to just put that out there. LeBron wasn't playing, and that's my only excuse.
We know.
You know what? Ben Simmons wasn't playing for us, so we were down our best man too.
I get, man.
Well played.
There's that point, though, Hunter. If you could bring up a comment that Sterner Sports Report has, it's not that no one wants Simmons; it's the Sixers ask for too much. So, Slay, I mean, again, I like asking Nate for his opinions on what's it called, the Eagles, because he can look from the outside with less bias.
Yeah.
So, as a Lakers fan, I'm going to ask you this: what do you think is the best solution to the Simmons deal right now? Do you think it's what Sterner's saying, that we're asking for too much? Do you think it's other teams just don't want to touch his contract? Because I got to say, bro, personally, I'm kind of with Sterner. I've seen some of the deals out there that reportedly Morey has turned down. And if any 3 or 4 or 5 of those are true, I'm really disappointed, man. I think we have the price too high. What do you think?
For me personally, I don't think it's I mean, there's a lot of elements to this Ben Simmons, stuff, and I think it's more sort of teams just wanting a player that can like do it all for them. Like, there's too many teams like that. Like, I mean, you have the Grizzlies with Ja Morant. I think he would fit that offense because he's not really going to touch the ball too much, and you have other guys like Desmond Bain who can, shoot and stuff, I guess, and Ja Morant can elevate those guys. Why not bring another guy like that? I just think it's Ben Simmons with the contract. I don't think teams want to touch that. That's my really only true thing with that. I just don't think teams want to touch his contract because he could be too expensive. And teams know if they get a guy like that and he comes to their team and he's not going to do too much, why do I bring that guy in? That's just like teams mindsets going into a trade like that. Well, I wouldn't mind the Grizzlies getting him. I think he would be a perfect fit there.
Hey man, we just want him gone. But you've been
yeah, for
huge.
sure. That's how
great, Colin.
that's how I'm feeling about Westbrook right now. That's the exact same thing for me.
I don't know. Actually, no. Westbrook isn't quite as toxic as Ben, but I understand your pain. I do. We sympathize. We sympathize.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been great having you on, man. Thank you for joining us for this call. And we look forward to having you on for Collins in the future. And everybody, he's got his own channel. Go check that out if you haven't already. Makes great content on there. And pleasure to have you.
Peace.
Peace, Big Play Sly. All right. Well, we got someone from Philly Insider who I actually missed. He's already on here. So Seth, welcome to the call-in. You're not a caller this time. You're part of the pod. So how's it feel?
Crazy. I was waiting for the big introduction from you, Hunter. I guess I'm not getting that.
Always.
That's disappointed. He's disappointed, Hunter. You let him down.
Yeah.
I did. But look, Seth, I mean, we've been talking a little bit. We were just talking about Ben Simmons. So we kind of talked to you mostly about birds when we had you on last time. Where are you at with the whole Ben Simmons thing with, Harden was obviously that's an offseason thing coming up. Ben doesn't sound like we're going to move him at the deadline. Like, where are you kind of at with the whole situation right now?
It's funny you should ask because I told you earlier this afternoon I was going to hop on. And I am not a huge basketball guy myself, but I definitely follow the Sixers. I know the squad. I probably won't bring up basketball again, but today I was just really impressed watching the Sixers lately, seeing their recent success. Embiid's dominating, the squad looks really good, and you just can't help but think you're one piece away. And it's like, I'm missing Ben Simmons out there. I really am. He had a really
Seth, don't do this.
I'm in the mindset. I don't want Harden for Simmons. I would rather have Simmons out there. And with this team. But it's not going to happen. I really don't see it happening. So it's kind of one of those things where it's a frustrating year because I feel like we're wasting a prime year for Embiid on, maybe we get a 4th or 5th seed and we get bumped, if not in the first round, which I think would happen with our current team. We get bumped in the second round, no doubt. And it just feels like we're wasting these guys. Embiid has a very short window. That is if he can stay healthy for this year, which he hasn't really done in years past. But this team is way better off with Ben Simmons, what he can do on both ends of the floor.
Yeah,
I gotta retaliate. I have to retaliate, Seth. You can't just say all that. You gotta let me retaliate.
Should we bring a caller in to help retaliate?
Bring somebody in. Sorry, Seth. Somebody throw me the line.
I knew it was gonna be.
MG Nas, welcome in, brother.
I will do what I did as a lesson. I won't do it again.
MG?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We can hear you, dog.
First off, the Lakers. I don't want to hear any excuses because I believe I heard someone say a few minutes ago, we didn't have Ben Simmons either. So we didn't have one of our players. But in all seriousness, man, how's everyone doing?
We're doing okay, bro. Good to have you.
Doing great. Glad it's the end of the week.
Yes.
Facts.
So my question is, I'm asking Sixers question. So did everyone see the report that the Sacramento Kings are done going after Simmons?
Yes. Did see that.
If a trade happens at the deadline, who do you guys think the team will be?
That's a good question.
I mean, I
Great
feel like,
question.
yeah, I don't know how much you follow basketball. I feel like I follow NBA rumors at least the most out of everyone here. And I got to say, dude, it's looked like Maury's ready to buckle down. It looks like he's not going to make a move at the deadline for Ben. It just seems there's two things for him. For one, it seems like he's set on Harden to the point that the NBA execs are actually considering possibly investigating collusion. That's how strong this rumor has gotten, that Maury is just looking to pull Harden in the offseason. Like, this is beyond almost, it's basically everything short, as close as you can get to confirmed. That's where this rumor is, that Maury's sole target is Harden. It's just short of confirmed. And I don't think there is going to be a move at the deadline, man. And that disappoints me. And Hunter, you brought up before, we could get some mid to low tier guys, but like, I mean, Seth, you were saying it. We're one piece away, and one piece does not mean low to mid tier guy.
Agreed.
So
There he is.
that's there's the man. There's the man himself.
Oh,
What's going on, brother?
So, Ian, we're talking some Sixers, man. And have you infected Seth? Have you got to him? Like, have you infected him with this absurd love for Ben that you have? Have you done it?
I still love him. I'm not gonna lie to you. He has no business still being in this city, but I can't help but still love him.
Oh my gosh. But MG, not to answer your question
Word
on
for
the
me.
last way. Like, no, it doesn't look like there will be a deadline move.
If there was a team, yeah, that's a really good question, MG. I just don't know who kind of has the assets, because the Kings were really that perfect fit. So, I mean, I could see possibly Cleveland if they want to make a move for him. They were rumored a while ago, but then again, Sexton's hurt, so that's kind of who we were looking at. Maybe a West Coast team. So I don't know if I have a concrete answer for you, just because I think that's the point, is it's become so foggy, and that's why your question's such a good one, because I just think we don't really know what's going to happen now.
Yeah. And I guess my next question is, without a Simmons or a big move at the deadline, do you think this is a waste of Joel Embiid's a waste of year? Because when you look at it, I mean, Embiid's just having such a great season right now. But the fact is, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if we have a championship team, and we want to win this guy a championship. So is this just gonna be a waste of Joel Embiid's prime? Is this a year wasted?
Yes.
Yeah. I think you saw the head nods across the board, bro. It's sad.
Shame.
It is what it is.
I will say I'm happy about how the Sixers front office is approaching this with Ben, because I think we have a top 15 player with Ben Simmons. That's my opinion. Some say top 20, some say top 25. If he's not top 25, I don't know. I don't value your opinion. But let's say in my opinion he's top 15. You have to be picky who you're getting. And this is a very delicate situation where you have a team, like me and Sanjay said, that's one piece away from competing in the East for that 1, 2, 3 seed. Filling guys is not gonna cut it.
That's moving laterally. That's not moving up.
Not at all. And maybe we stay at the same 5, 6 seed and we lose a top tier player. In my opinion, a top tier player.
Yeah. It sucks, but I think I agree with that. And then question about the Eagles. Devontae Smith. I mean, I feel like for the national media, he had a pretty underrated season. But I feel like Eagles fans have done their fair job of hyping this guy up. My question is about him. Is he gonna retire as the number one leading Eagles yards receiver all time?
Wow.
That's a tough one. This could get clipped.
Sorry, I wasn't shaking no to you. I just saw Bo Nix for the Heisman, and that just pissed me off. I'm sorry. I wasn't shaking no to you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Ian, you were the first big Devontae stan from our pods. I feel like you have to go first on this. We're all gonna have to give our answer, but like I feel like
I want to say, I think Hunter took the cake from me in terms of like
Real quick, MG, is it cool if we let you go and we all kind of roundtable discuss this?
Yep, I'll be watching.
Appreciate it. Hey, if you guys didn't see, I was on MG's channel last week, and he'll be coming on Philly Insider soon. So we appreciate you hopping on, man, and thank you so much for the questions. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Have a
Good
nice
question.
day, everyone.
All right, have a good one.
Have a good one, bro.
So am I going first then? Did Ian throw
I
it
think
over to
Ian
me?
passed the baton to you. I think he did pass the baton to you.
Ian's
Okay.
said enough.
I
All
like
right.
Devontae, but if I'm being objective here, Hunter's the bigger fan.
I was just messing with you. Hey, Seth, by the way, what's up? I don't think I've seen you on the pod yet.
I do love Devontae, but I mean, I think someone getting me the jersey definitely pushed it over. So I think the person who got me the jersey should be the one to go first. So I'm passing the baton to Nate.
Yeah, that's right. I bought him the jersey. Don't even try, Ian.
Yeah, 'cause it's not like I Venmoed you the money for it either. You know, no big deal.
We split
All
it.
right, guys. All right, guys.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I've been a big Devontae. No, I'm just kidding. But I did. I mean, obviously he was in Alabama, so he was in the spotlight of college football. And I'll be honest, I had my doubts on him. You know, I thought he was extremely small for a wide receiver. He kind of looked like, you ever seen that like NBA meme where it's like Clay looks like he's about to drop 400 yards as a QB. Kevin Durant looks like a horrible wide receiver, and Seth he looked like Steph Curry. He looked very small, very skinny, but I'll be honest, he exceeded my expectations. He definitely impressed me. And I think that's something really important. You know, if Jamar wasn't having his crazy year or Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith would be having it, whilst having a very, very, very confusing offense with a first-year head coach, you know. So kudos to him. I think regardless of what happens with Jalen Hurts, he's going to be able to connect with whoever his quarterback is. And it's just a matter of if he stays with the Eagles. If he does, I think he'll definitely have that record in his eyesight, you know.
I'll go real quick. I mean, you know, you're pretty much asking if he can average like 60 yards a game throughout his career, Eagles career. He's absolutely going to get an extension with us. And like Nate said, it doesn't really matter who's the quarterback. So honestly, if there's a different quarterback at some point, we actually throw the ball a little bit more, you know, I think he easily reaches it. But he's definitely going to finish top 5 in my opinion, again, because I think he's going to get the extension. And something people talked about in the draft was his durability with his size. And he stayed healthy every single game this year. I don't think he missed a snap due to injury. So that's what I'll leave it at. I think he can absolutely break it.
I gotta be honest. I am worried. The injury risk is just a worry for me going forward. It's just, you have to consider it just when you're that size, when you're playing that position where it's such quick movements that it's easy. Just roll an ankle here. You catch a hit weird. Somebody rolls up on your leg the wrong way. I don't know. I'll go out on a limb. I will go out on a limb and say he could. I'm going to say he could. I'll say yes. I'll do it. We're out there.
I'm with you. I'm going to say yes as well. I think as far as the injury concerns go, you have to worry about everyone. Any freak accident can happen with any freak player. You could look at a guy like DK Metcalf. He missed a lot of time this season. Really any player, regardless of their size. But I see what you mean. He's one hit away from, you know, one hit away from a career-ending injury, basically being at that size. They said the same thing about D-Jack. D-Jack got blown up by all the hamstring injuries, whatever. But regardless, I do think it matters who's at quarterback for him. I would love to see us get a quarterback besides, but I don't see that happening for next season. Long term, I do think he could be one of Philly's greatest receivers with the right quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Ian?
Yeah, kind of going off what Seth said, I think it will honestly depend on one. I mean, obviously, as someone who like wants to go into medicine, like any fluke injury can happen, like anything. But you know, fingers crossed, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. I still think it would depend on his quarterback because as someone who is more neutral to maybe slightly negative on Jalen Hurts, if you somehow have Jalen for his career and Jalen steps up, then yeah, he might be able to get it done. I mean, he broke Deshaun's record with Jalen Hurts. But if you do have kind of the same Jalen Hurts that we have, maybe, I don't know if that happens, because especially as people start to figure him out now and you have more film on him, I don't know. And then beyond Jalen, like if we, one, I mean, you don't know how long they're going to be together because we really don't know Jalen's future. But if there's someone else beyond Jalen who's either not as good as Jalen or better than Jalen. But I ultimately do think it depends on who he's getting the ball thrown from.
Yeah. And welcome, BLSG. We're going to turn the question over to you. Can Devontae be the Eagles' all-time leading receiver? And tell us how you're doing.
Well, first of all, I want to say, what's good, everybody? How we all doing tonight?
Sweet.
Okay over here,
Great
man.
Friday.
Tired.
Yep, end of the week. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna move to a different room.
Take your time.
Okay.
No
we can
worries.
stall for you while we're waiting for you.
We are
Wait, I want to
great,
address Big
great-
Play Slay's
Yeah.
comment.
That's a good thing to stall with.
Big Play Slay. Why would you trade away, or why would you want the Bengals' entire defense when all you need is Eli Apple? He's the GOAT. I don't know what you're talking about. He locked down. What did he lock
Did
down?
have the game-winning plays.
He locked down AJ Brown. I mean, it's not like AJ Brown had like 140 receiving yards and a touchdown in that game. No, of course not.
Man, Eli Apple. I forgot Eli.
All right,
Apple
now
was
we're
in the league.
All right.
My second favorite Eli.
All right. So, BLSG, the question is right now, can Devontae be the Eagles' all-time leading receiver when it's all said and done?
Here's what I'll say to that. I'm just gonna say that he has potential.
No, you can't do that. That's a cop-out. We heard a cop-out.
Year by year, and the further he goes into his career, the more he's gonna master the playbook for the Eagles' offense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, but you know I need that yes-no, my guy. You know I need that yes-no.
Well, it's a 50-50 shot in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, right. So it's right on the line.
All right.
Dude,
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. So, no answer there. But anyway, you guys got any questions for BLSG you want to throw at him? Anything about Dable or NBA? He talks all Philly sports. So,
Well, mainly Eagles and Sixers if you want to just be specific.
Mhm.
good.
I feel you
Yeah,
on
they're
that.
the only two successful teams right now. Well, relatively compared to the other two.
Man,
guess
I've been
what?
keeping up with what's the situation with the Phillies right now? Is the MLB still in lockout or are they back?
They're still
Yeah,
They're
alive.
still in lockout, so I'm
Ooh.
still unemployed. Sag.
BL,
I got a
BLSG
question for BL. I got
yeah,
one.
go for it, Nate.
So, okay, as I don't know if you know me, if you see me on the pod, I've been an avid Ben Simmons hater since day one, right? So, and I've been a Jimmy Butler supporter since day one. And
Hey,
so
I'm not
anyway, it
gonna
doesn't
do
matter. That's
that.
just my
Don't
that's
do
just
that.
my backstory. So, for you, would you rather just get rid of Ben at the trade for a middle tier trade, or would you wait, Sanj, would you wait till the end of the year and get rid of him in the offseason for a potentially better deal? Would you rather just want to get rid of him or hold off in hopes that we get a better deal?
I might want to go for a better deal, to be honest, because we know the rumors again that the Philadelphia 76ers could once again have a shot at James Harden. But you know what? I'm not in the mood for James Harden. If you wanted James Harden, why did you not get him last year in the offseason? Why didn't you get him last year? Exactly. Answer that for me right now. Why didn't you get James Harden last year? And now you're coming up with a new trade scenario that's including both Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey. I saw this when I looked it up. And you know what? I'm not giving up both point guards because we still need a young point guard that can still develop in this system for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I still think that Tyrese Maxey is that guy, but I still think that we could trade Ben Simmons for somebody else probably around the end of the season. And hopefully Ben Simmons just gets his ass out of Philly and says bye-bye to the Sixers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Thoughts?
He needs to be gone. I mean, he needs to be gone. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know why Daryl Morey didn't accept that trade a bit ago, but I'd still take James Harden. I'll be honest. That Harden and Embiid thing would just be really nasty, in my opinion. And I think, I don't know, James Harden is just, he's James Harden,
I know,
Yeah.
dude. I'm actually
Yeah,
curious
true.
to see. We were talking about this a bit earlier. Me and Hunter were BLSG. Like right now, the East is looking kind of, it's very close. It's very tight. You got like 10 teams who are all kind of fighting it out, and they've been going up and down. And, you got some upper echelon, lower echelon teams. But
Yeah, I
wanna
did see that, yeah.
I want to say the 8th seed is like what? Like 6, 7
4.5-ish.
games back of the first seed? Like it's kind of tight. Like everything's kind of up in the air. You got a lot of talented teams in the East now. There's not really a like bona fide like number one. You just have them away in the favorite. So like, give me top 4 teams you got right now you're scared of in the East.
Well, number one, I'm probably gonna have to say the Brooklyn Nets right now. I mean, they still have Kevin Durant, they still have James Harden, and they got Kyrie Irving back from his non-injury related crap that Kyrie Irving had to take care of. So, number one, I'm saying the Brooklyn Nets. Number two, I still gotta say Milwaukee still, because I mean you're dealing with Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're dealing with Bobby Portis, you're dealing with Brook Lopez. You know who you're dealing with, and those guys, they're not jokes, man. And especially under Mike Budenholzer's system, that's honestly a scary lineup that you have with the Milwaukee Bucks. That's number two. Number three, this one might shock some people, but I might go ahead and say this third one's going to be the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, you name everybody that's on that squad. They are also pretty scary as well, and they've also been a really solid team. And at number 4, man, I haven't thought of a 4th team, but if I had to go with anybody as a 4th team, man, this might give me some thinking. Damn. Man.
Fair enough. See, everybody's got the top 3 ready.
Could
Nobody's
always
got
put
the top 4 ready.
Sixers. Go with it.
Well, the Sixers could technically be a threat in the East as well. I mean, look at how we're playing. We won 13 of the last 16 games. Look at it that way. We won 13 of the last 16 games right there.
Yep. Team's got a little bit of a rhythm to them. And with BLSG, thanks so much for coming on. We're going to move on to our next
no
call.
problem.
We're having you on. Thank you for the takes and the questions.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep, no problem. Take care, everybody.
Have a
Peace
good one.
out.
I got something for the squad here. Who's the
Yeah.
team to beat? Who's the team to beat in the East? You know, so who's that team in your opinion? Break. I'll go with Seth first. Actually, no. Seth looks like he's thinking. I'll go to Ian. Ian looks like he knows what he's gonna say.
I don't know what I'm gonna say.
That's a real shame.
Give me a minute.
I think I got my answer. I think I have
All
my
right,
answer.
Sanj, you're up.
I think it's got to be just because of our seeming inability to really, really guard the 3-point line. I think it has to be the Bucks right now, just because you can sort of guard. If you choose to commit to guarding Giannis, which is possible, you can scheme up a defense to do that. If you choose to commit to guarding Giannis, that means you have to have guys who are really good at guarding the 3. Because over his career, Giannis has gotten great at finding the outlet pass for the 3. He knows where his shooters are. He gets them the ball. So I'll say it's the Bucks just because I feel like we could get exploited by their 3-point shooting pretty bad.
Interesting.
I'll go with Sanjay too. I think the Bucks are still the biggest threat in the East. They're the team to beat.
Yeah, I'll agree with
I don't
Seth.
have an in-depth reason like he does, but he pretty much covered it. Giannis is a beast.
That he
Same
is.
thing.
I said Seth. I said not Seth. I
Seth
said,
is the team to beat in the East,
I said
honestly.
the same as Seth and Sanjay because we also don't have Defensive Player of the Year Ben Simmons on the floor anymore.
Ian.
I'm with you, Ian. I'm with you. I'm a Ben Simmons guy. I wish.
Ian, I'm going to aggressively hug you when I see you next time.
Hunter, save this. I'm just kidding.
Well, look, I just want to go with the fun answer here, kind of like a sleeper as the top team. The Bulls got a lot of heart, man. They play with a lot of passion. Those 2 buzzer beaters DeRozan hit earlier this year. I mean, this city hasn't had like that kind of excitement since Jimmy Butler's been there, who we've obviously talked about a ton. And look, DeRozan, he's kind of the leader on that squad. I don't care what the numbers say, even if he wasn't the top in most of their numbers. He's the leader of that team. You got Levine, who can ball out. Vucevic, who's a big man there. They got other guys too. Like, they got some heart. And I'd probably take the heat off of talent alone. But if I'm going off of just the passion and energy that the Bulls bring, I think they've got a shot to go all the way through the East. But with that said, we're not even going to acknowledge what just happened. We're going to bring in the next caller, John Zoo. We heard you got some championship weekend predictions for us.
Yes, I do have some championship weekend predictions for you. And let me tell you, it's not going to be what you expect. All right?
No.
As is usual from me, the reason behind my predictions is never what anyone's expecting, really. Right? So let's start with Rams 49ers. And as much as I hate to say it because I don't like the 49ers, the 49ers win. All right. Here's the thing with the Rams. All right. The Rams' kryptonite is the 49ers, kind of like the 49ers' kryptonite is the Seahawks. Like they went full circle in the NFC West this year. Seahawks swept 49ers, Niners swept Rams, Rams swept Seahawks. That's the circle of life, as they call it. Anyway, but you might be thinking to yourself, oh, the Rams already got beaten twice by the 49ers. Surely Sean McVay would plan for whatever the 49ers are going to bring. And now here's where the bit comes in, all right? I don't necessarily believe this, just want to clarify it, but it's for the bit, okay? Sean McVay is actually a bad coach, all right? He took for number 1 overall pick Jared Goff and said, I simply do not vibe with this man, and ruined his career, all right? And now he's getting carried by that super team of LA, all right? And everyone thinks he's the next Bill Belichick, right? Now, Kyle Shanahan, that guy is a man. He is a good coach, all right? He's still going to be the kryptonite for the Rams. So 49ers win. Now on the other side, I know it would break Nate's heart to say that the Bengals lose.
Good day, John.
All right. However, and I'm not going to reveal my prediction yet for that. Just going to get to that soon, just to keep Nate on the edge. All right. Here's the thing. A bunch of people want the Bengals to win so that Jackson Mahomes doesn't TikTok dance.
We are all honorary Bengals fans over here on this pod for this upcoming weekend. We are.
Now here's the thing. Sometimes people fold under massive amounts of support. All right.
Ian, you're supporting the Bengals or Jackson Mahomes. Take your choice.
Sometimes people collapse under massive amounts of support. All right. But here's the thing. All right. You know the curse where like everyone on like those sports pages or on TV is they're all going to predict one team to win. All right. And then the other team wins instead. All right. Here's the thing though. If everyone picks the Bengals to win, the Chiefs would win. But here's the thing. The Chiefs are not going to win because not everyone is picking the Bengals. All right. So I'm picking the Chiefs because I want the Bengals to win. Reverse psychology. All right.
Whoa, that's some levels right there. You just played with my emotions there, John. I can't lie. My emotions were all over.
Pom-pom might have been the girliest thing I've ever seen you do, Nate.
Well, you know what? This pom-pom has been to more playoff wins than you have. Woo!
That's just not true, and you know it because the Birds actually won a Super Bowl.
Football. Been to. Were you at those games?
I hate you,
John. I agree with you 100%. Bengals will win. I've been 3 for 3 predicting the Bengals on this, so I can safely say the Bengals will win and not worry about jinxing them. But I love your logic. I also love the logic of the 49ers. I'd love to see a Bengals 49ers. I'd love to see a Bengals 49ers rematch for the 3rd time, but this time we win. This time we don't lose to Joe. They don't have Joe Montana.
It's hurting, but here's the thing. All right, I've had 2 math classes today. All right, my brain is still working through all of the numbers. They float through my head. I can almost see the future.
John, I took a 7-hour practice MCAT today, so my brain is shot.
I took a 7-hour nap today.
Wow, I gotta say, Nate.
John, I love hearing your predictions every week. Anything you want to leave with us before you head out? Any comments, questions, concerns? Like, why is Ian wearing a Ben Simmons jersey? Anything's free range here.
Because it looks dope.
Well, I think I said on a podcast recently, I saw someone at our college, me and Hunter's college, wearing a Ben Simmons jersey, and it wasn't Hunter. So that's the main concern I have. So I'm just going to inform you all of that. Peace.
Thank you, John. I will keep an eye out for that on campus. I'm surprised someone else has one on.
Hunter's like, it's on site if I see that kid again.
I think I know who it is still. So, all right, but yeah, thank you so much for popping in, John. We really appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
John, you're the man.
Right. Peace. Oh, whoops! I tried to.
Oh,
John
the pod just got so much better and then so much worse.
And it took out Ian of the pod.
Bummer. Hey, while he brought up the conference picks, let's hear everybody's. Well, not everybody's, but just a quick thing.
No explanation, just quick hit.
Yeah.
Bengals, Rams.
Ooh.
Is it me?
Hunter.
I actually, believe it or not, Nate, I do think it will be Bengals, Rams.
Yeah, hop on the bandwagon.
I'm not hopping on the bandwagon. I'm making a pick. That's what you do when you ask me to make a pick. I make the pick.
All right, Seth.
Chiefs, Rams.
Chiefs,
That's
Rams.
the one I want. By the way.
Monday Night Football rematch there.
Let's do it.
I
Yeah.
would love that.
I'll go with I'll go opposite. No one said this one so far, so I'll go Bengals Niners.
That's what mine was going to be, Hunter. Thanks a lot.
Somebody needs to believe in the handsomeness of Jimmy G to carry that team to victory.
I don't think
Someone
people
has to.
realize if it's Bengals Rams, we're benching Joe Burrow for that game. He will die if it's Bengals Rams. Aaron Donald will snap both his legs off. So,
Dude.
All right, guys, we got one more caller in here, and then I think we'll wrap it up.
Let's do it.
All right, Sterner, what's going on, man?
Not much. How about you guys?
We're doing well. Yeah.
All right. Well, since you guys all gave your guys' predictions for the championships this weekend, I think I'll give mine.
Go for it.
For the explanation, I'll give an explanation for these two. As much as I'd love to see the Chiefs and the Rams Monday Night Football rematch, like that was a great game. What was it, 54-51, the final? That was a great game. Patrick Mahomes played really well, but you also got to remember it might not be the same because Matthew Stafford is quarterbacking the Rams. It was Jared Goff then.
The GOAT.
But anyway, I'd like to say that the Chiefs are making it to the Super Bowl, but I am riding along with the Bengals.
Go.
The Bengals are really just looking really good right now, and I don't think it's going to be hard to stop Jamar Chase this weekend for the Chiefs secondary, especially if Tyrann Mathieu's out right now, which he was at practice earlier. I think it was today or yesterday, as he cleared concussion protocols. But another thing is to think about. You also don't have that many good defensive backs. Ladarius Sneed's out there, yeah. But I just say Bengals, and then for my NFC, I'm an underdog guy. And I know if you're saying underdogs, you're gonna think 49ers, but I actually take the Rams in this one because they are 0-7 in their last 7 meetings against the 49ers.
I did do that earlier today.
I think Stafford has what it takes in the playoffs. He's cooking up pretty well right now. So give me the Bengals, give me the Rams at SoFi Stadium, and I'll actually say it right now. I think the Rams are winning the Super Bowl.
Love that, man. Hey, love the prediction. I want to ask you something that we can all kind of discuss too. Your profile picture right now is Brandon Brooks. So how'd you feel about his retirement, his career, and what do you think the Eagles' steps are moving forward in terms of who to play at that right guard spot?
I was really it was sort of emotional for me because I've always loved Brandon Brooks. He was just great, and it's easy to say that he is one of the best Eagles offensive linemen in Eagles history. But you're saying where are we gonna go forward? Well, we also gotta remember there are 2 other guys that have the possibility of retiring this offseason, Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson. So we also need to put focus in those 2 positions as well. So it all depends on what happens with Kelce and Johnson before I can say anything else.
Yeah. Guys, thoughts?
Wow.
I mean, shout out to Brooks, man. Like Sterner was saying, he's one of the greatest offensive linemen in our franchise history when healthy. If he didn't have his injuries, I don't think this is stretching it. If he didn't have his injuries, he could have been in there for the Hall of Fame discussions. He was that good of a player. It's unfortunate, but I'm glad to see him. He got out. He still got some of his health. Hopefully he'll be able to live a good life from now on.
What was the deal we got for Brandon Brooks? How did we bring him in?
We got him in 2016 offseason. I don't know the money exactly, but we got him from the Texans after that 2015 to 2016 season.
I remember it just being an absolute steal and thinking like the next 2 years, like 2016, 2017, I was watching. I was like, what the heck? Like, why would they give this guy up? Like, he was like undoubtedly, it was kind of unanimous. Like, he was the best guard in all of football for that time period. So Eagles did a great job picking him up, and he was a huge part of our Super Bowl run. And as far as filling the void, I'll trust the front office with this one. They usually draft well, and like our guest said, we have we better keep Kelsey and Johnson. We'll have a tough season if we can't keep both of them.
Yeah,
big shoes to fill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally.
Ian?
Yeah, I mean, listen, like Seth said, I mean, I do remember it kind of being a steal when we got Brandon Brooks. And then, I mean, I'll never forget just how phenomenal he was for us. And like Sanjay was saying, I really do think that, like, if injuries were not a factor, not that he'd be a first ballot guy, but definitely at some point, you know, in his retirement, he would have been a candidate for the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's such a shame what this guy went through too. I mean, he had tears one Achilles, comes back for like a week, and then he tears another Achilles, like tears the other one. Then, yeah, I mean, the mental battles that this dude had on the field, like we know he was like really struggled with like extreme anxiety, and like the fact that he just like would muscle it through. I mean, he even stated that he would like throw up a lot, like uncontrollably before games because he was just that nervous. So I mean, just shout out to him. He was Bill O'Brien effect. But I mean, huge shout out to Brandon Brooks. He will be a Philadelphia legend forever, regardless of where he goes beyond retirement.
Yeah, guys. Any questions for Sterner Sports before we let him go here?
Don't got anything
for us, Sterner?
I mean, I don't know how much you're into the draft, but do you think with us losing Brooks and possibly us, I mean, you know, whatever, Eagles fans, and possibly losing Johnson and Kelsey, do you think the first person that we should target in the draft is an offensive lineman, or you know, do you think we can we don't have to trade up? You know, so like as far as offensive lineman in the draft, what do you think?
So something I've been thinking was, well, we really need a linebacker. So if Dean is still there, I am targeting Dean no matter what. Like, that linebacker position has been horrific the last 3 years in Philly, and we just need to find out how to like stop the passes in the middle of the field. And like I feel like if we get good linebackers, that our defense could be good. But also the thing with Derek Barnett going in the free agency, that's another thing that you need to think about. But I think our defensive line will be just fine with Josh Sweat there to replace his starting position. But linebacker is definitely the first place that we target. I think I'd take, with that later pick, I think that's when I'd take a guard, like a guard or something, and then or maybe like try to trade or to sign one on a free agency.
Love it. Well, hey, sir, we want to say thank you so much for hopping on here as our last caller. And we really do appreciate your insight and talking Birds and Sixers or whatever it was with us the whole night. We've seen you in the chat the past couple live streams, and we appreciate your support, man. Thank you so much for hopping on.
Have a good one, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for allowing me in. I'll see you guys.
Thank you.
All right. See you, Sterner.
Peace.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, anything off of like draft talk and stuff. I know we've talked about the Eagles draft needs a ton, but draft talk, anything you guys want to wrap up with here? We can go for a little bit more if you guys want, but anything you guys want to bring up?
I got a question.
Always.
Real quick.
Yeah. Go Seth.
This is a little further back. We're going back to the Sixers talk here, and I've talked to Hunter about this. Where do you think the process went wrong for the Sixers? I want to hear your guys' opinions. I have my own. Ian, I'm dying to know.
Dude, honestly, what the heck? Why did he mute and leave? I don't even know. Anyway,
I'm still here.
I'm getting a charger, bro.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Chill,
I
yeah,
thought you
chill
were-
out, Ian. That's right. Back off.
I honestly believe. So I think one, we should have. I mean, there wasn't much we could do, but I think as much as I despise Jimmy Butler, I think we should have kept him around. Like that
Amen.
should have been a number one priority. But also keeping Ben. I will say that keeping Ben with Jimmy, like maybe trying to. I know like there was rumors about him or Brett Brown. Like obviously, I think Al Horford was something that just stunted the process in a ridiculous fashion.
Al Horford, man. I forgot about that.
Because I mean, we recovered from. Like I feel like we would have been okay.
I was so excited about that guy too.
What?
I was so excited about Al Horford because he.
In the moment. So this is how my
real quick, Ian. I just want to tell the story. I remember me and Ian were at like a grad party or something, and we were both like, "Why the heck would they do that?" And then Zach kind of tried to talk us into it, and then we got convinced. And then, yeah, and the mid-season came around, and we were like, "Oh, yeah, this guy does suck like we thought he was going to suck." In terms of
back the bum.
So I just wanted to say that real quick.
Yeah, but yes, like Hunter said, when we were at David the Place's grad party, we were just like, why? This is the dumbest thing we could have ever done. Given this man a max contract and everything else.
But Ian, he was a 3-point specialist.
No, don't Sanjay. Al Horford, Hunter and I knew it from the get-go. I think Al Horford was a huge stunt to it. I mean, last year, again, we recovered a little bit by getting Seth. I don't think – obviously Ben did not play the best in the playoffs, but, I don't want to put it entirely on Ben. Like, I would say it's 7.
Ian, saying Ben did not play the best in the playoffs is like saying the sun is just a little bit hot.
All right, Sanjay. I don't need your smack talk right now. So I think that was a part of it. And then, to be quite honest, like just drafting sheer virtue of drafting Markelle Fultz instead of Jason, like that one was just so bad. Just so bad.
I'll hop in on that point. I look at that's the straw that broke the camel's back for me is when we passed on Tatum to get Fultz instead. I remember watching that draft. I was at Doug Werner's house. Shout out, Doug. And Doug was real excited, but I was not happy. I knew that was the guy. And obviously not being able to keep Butler, I think those were the two big ones. And then we decided to sign Tobias Harris to a massive contract that he has no right to have.
Oh, that was
I actually got a different one. I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, but the hiring of Brett Brown, I feel like that has to be held with like a good amount of blame. Like yes, in fact, he was. Like Brett Brown, to be fair, I feel like Brown just carried over the culture of like the tanking years of the process into the time where they should have been winning. Like he wasn't being hard on players. He wasn't asking people to improve their weaknesses. Towards, even Ian, I'll give you this. Brett should have been harder on Ben from jump. Because if he'd been harder on Ben from jump, then maybe as a young player, Ben might have actually had a shot to improve. Or if he had decided that he was just going to be like this from then we would have seen that earlier and we wouldn't have given him that massive extension into that contract. So my point being, I think a lot of culpability lies with Brown. Aside from him not being that good of a coach, like actual basketball-wise, like he just didn't really improve the culture at the phase. He was great for the phase where we were tanking, keeping morale high, rolling with that. When it came time for us to win, I don't think we moved off him fast enough. And I think we let some of the culture from the tanking years get into the phase of the process where we were supposed to be winning and contending.
I disagree with you there, Sanjay. People forget that we were 5 inches away from making it to a finals under Brett Brown. I don't think the whole blame is on Brett Brown. Was he a bad coach? Yes. Did he lead us farther in the playoffs than any other coach in the last decade? Yes. I mean, wait, I don't know. Anyway, he's done more. He's gotten us farther than Doc. I totally just froze right there. I don't think he was all to blame, and I'm gonna try and contain my tongue here, but there are 2 people to blame, not just one. One of those men is Ben Simmons, mainly because we overvalued
Ben
him.
was the final nail in the coffin, though, bro. He was the final nail. He wasn't the where.
No, but that's not even it. That's not even it. The thing is,
Or
that
who was got robbed for Defensive Player of the Year leading up to the playoffs?
See, Defensive Player of the Year is great. Didn't Myles Garrett win Defensive Player? Yeah, where'd they go? Yeah, that's right. Defensive Player of the Year doesn't mean
Myles Garrett.
Here's my point with
where did he go?
With Ben Simmons.
Bro, he's lighting up your QB. What do you mean? Where did he go?
I'm just saying they didn't.
Your QB's on the ground because of Myles Garrett.
Our QB's in the AFC Championship Conference. Regardless, I'm going to ignore Ian's
AFC Championship Conference.
That was the worst.
My point with Ben is this: we did not have a voice on the team. Nobody, no leadership. Ben Simmons is a coward. He's not a leader, and he, frankly, is just not a great basketball player at scoring. So that was our problem. We didn't have a leader. We didn't have a voice. Embiid, one of the best players out there, he can't really lead the team that well. We threw away our only chance at having a leader for Brett Brown and Ben Simmons. That is why we failed. That's why we're not going to go anywhere farther than the second round. I mean, look what happened as soon as Jimmy Butler left. Went to the finals. We needed a leader on our voice. Our head coach wasn't that. Our Defensive Player of the Year wasn't that. We needed a leader. We didn't have it. It was really nice to talk and say my point without people interrupting, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's also really nice to not have condescending people in the live right now. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I can't with you too.
Child. Oh, and Elton Brand. He's also a problem.
Elton Brand. Shout out to Brand.
Yeah. Hunter, you go.
Well, I'm going to take it back to the very beginnings of the process when it wasn't even, trust the process. It was together we build. Back in those days, when we drafted Michael Carter-Williams, proceeded to trade him a year or 2 later. He didn't really pan out. He was kind of just a scorer on a really bad team. You proceeded to take a third center after you already traded for Nerlens Noel. You already drafted Joel Embiid, and you felt the need to take Jahlil Okafor. That's when the process went wrong because you could have grabbed another star in those years. You probably could have had Devin Booker in one of those drafts. I know that's hard to tell because in the draft at that time, but look, Kentucky guards, you always bet on Kentucky guards. And I know, obviously, Maxia had a pretty poor take on him, but that just proves the point further about Kentucky guards. Those guys know how to get it done. So to me, as soon as it started, it just didn't really – no rebuild is going to be perfect, and they're not going to make every step's not going to be the right step. But to me, it really fell apart then. And – yeah, I think it wasn't even just hiring Brett Brown. It was keeping after the rebuild because there's coaches who are meant to be transitional coaches. For example, with the Phillies, Pete Mackanin, we knew he was not going to be the coach after the rebuild. We knew we were going to go bring someone else in. So he coached the team for a year and a half while we were just kind of in that rebuild period. And then he went up to the front office after that, and he does other stuff now, right? He wasn't supposed to be the guy long-term. The Sixers made the mistake of kind of keeping Brett Brown in the position and rewarding him and not recognizing when it was time to maybe look elsewhere. And you don't even have to fire him. You can keep Brett Brown in the building like the Celtics did with Brad Stevens. Maybe he didn't want to do that, but you can still keep him around in the building as a reward for being there in the process rather than keeping him as the head coach. Because obviously he just didn't do a good enough job with that. And then, Fultz was one of the final daggers to me because that's another draft. You moved up. You had very, very, I'm looking for the word. I can't think of the word, but Jerry Colangelo was very worried about himself. He was insecure. That's what I was looking for.
I'll have you know before you say anything else, Hunter, that GCU is very much a sponsored partner with Jerry Colangelo. So I don't know how much I can say about this.
But look, at the moment he had the tweet issues and moved up for Markelle Fultz, you knew stuff was going to go wrong. Like, obviously, at the moment, I thought Markelle Fultz was going to be the guy, but hindsight being 2020, that completely backfired. So Jerry Colangelo is really another big piece to blame because, and he also not to
Colangelo's a bum.
mention, he did absolutely nothing the whole time while he was here. Like, who did he bring in? Even in free, like, you don't even have to nail the draft. Who did he bring in free agency? No one. And then the Sixers made the mistake on top of that of making Brett Brown the interim GM in an offseason. And they trade Michael Bridges on draft night for Zaire Smith, who plays 14 games with the Sixers. So to me, it's a collection and a chain reaction of all these different things that went wrong, all starting from I love Sam Hinkie, but even he made some big mistakes during that process. He wasn't the perfect rebuild guy. There's not going to be a perfect rebuild, but again, getting 3 centers 3 years in a row. I know you go best player available, but to a certain extent, I mean, you can trade back and get some more capital and still get the best player available a couple spots back. So that's my long-winded answer to kind of wrap up here.
All
Yeah,
good
man.
points.
That's it. Like, do we have anything else we want to talk about before we close this up? We've been going for a bit.
Is Embiid winning MVP?
I hope.
No, the league doesn't want to give it to a center anymore these days who's actually not advanced analytics and just plays good old-fashioned basketball.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to add the second part of the question or the answer there, Sanj.
I was going to say, yeah.
As you all know, the Wizard advanced stats say that according to the Magic pass rating, that Nikola Jokic is in fact better than Michael Jordan. In case you didn't know. Yes.
Yeah, make sure you get out your weather forecast chart to show that Jokic is a better player than Embiid.
Man, you need all the histograms, the graphs. You need pie charts, everything. All the fancy stuff shows that Jokic is the best ever.
Yeah, and then they don't even show Embiid in the Instagram post. They show Scotty Barnes. It's just totally the wrong person when they were showing the top 3 MVP voting. Shows how much they really care. Shows how much they care about Joel. Yeah, they already determined who's going to win. They're just waiting for the season to end. I can't wait. I will say this isn't a question, but I just say I can't wait to talk about drafts. I've been this is probably my most watched draft prospects.
NBA?
So I'm really excited about these guys.
I was going to say,
even though I normally didn't expect to be in the playoffs and then going this far with the Bengals. So I haven't been pushing for the draft stuff as much because I, still have my team there. But I am excited to talk about draft stuff because it's going to be coming, and whether I like it or not, in 3 weeks, the Bengals will be gone football. So, the draft will be the next thing. Is that end of April? Is that end of April, middle of April? Let me actually look it up right
now.
End of
April.
End of April.
And then the combine's end of March.
For me, I'm going to be honest. But
all the what?
All of April will be a blur for me.
And Catboy. He's got it then.
Yes, sir.
Nate, I think it's just going to be you and me on the draft content this year. Honestly,
it's going to just be you two. I'm not going to.
I'm not going to insult anyone, but it's just you and me, Hunter. To be honest.
And believe me, Nate, if you do win the Super Bowl, just from experience, you won't care about the draft. You will, but
as an obligation to our podcast, I promise if the Bengals win the Super Bowl, I will still be with Hunter on these episodes. Maybe not all of them, but I will. I'll make a deal. I'll be on at least 5 draft related podcasts.
Nate, how do we feel about a mock draft Monday this Monday? Start that up.
Can we do next Monday?
Yeah, we can wait a week. But we will start up mock draft Monday, though. So
yeah, we will.
We're gonna have. Sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say we have mock draft Monday. We're gonna have Wednesdays. We're coming up with a name. What's new Wednesdays with me and Nate on the Phillies pods, and then Fan Friday where you guys get to call in, and we'll have other stuff, obviously breaking news, rumors, and all that throughout the week.
You guys better do a good job on those draft videos. You're gonna be the only way I keep up with anything draft related.
Hunter might probably divide up some of the prospects.
Draft year.
I mean, for me, it should be one of the most important drafts for the Eagles. They've got a lot of picks, a lot of great talent here. Not the QB position, though I have been impressed with Malik Willis. A lot of people, anyway, that's totally unrelated. One thing about the mock Mondays, drop comments on players you want us to look into. Maybe some day 2, day 3 guys, because we're going to mainly look at the first 100 prospects, maybe even 50, depending on how much time we have. So if you have some day 2, day 3 guys, drop those in, and we're going to be trying to get some possible interviews going up. It's going to be tough, but I have a few possible potential guys. Don't want to spoil anything, but stay tuned for that as well.
All right, I think that's everything, dude.
I think that's everything,
and we can call it there. As always, thank you everybody for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate all of you. We're an awesome fan base and fan base.
Yeah, I got one thing. Drop comments of what we should do for our 1,000 subscriber video. If we should do we were thinking when we get back together, we still have to do that. We have to do that. We have to do the 100 subscriber episode first.
So we have a 500 one too.
I don't think so. I don't know. It's gonna suck, but just let us know. We do have the hot ones that'll eventually happen. Last year it didn't work out because of COVID.
Can down the road, but the 1,000 one will be big.
Down the road, we're only 110 subscribers away. It's coming up a lot quicker than you think.
We might be 105 now, Nate.
No, but I'm saying we get the actual sauces. We get the full lineup. We'll get gallons of milk. We'll keep it ice cold. It'll be real professional.
Oh my gosh. As always, guys, God bless you all. Have a good one, gentlemen. Anything you want to say before we get off here?
Go Bengals.
Slide. That's right, Nate.
Who day? That's right. Hashtag who day, Nate. Who day? Stay with me, Nate.
Let's go. Who day?